Well, let us see what is the next best thing that Blender developers has to offer us. So the next best thing is going to add grease pencil and monkey. So currently I have got a monkey here, and this is a grease pencil object. What you can do is go to add, go to mesh, go to grease pencil and click on monkey, and you get this pop-up menu where you can increase or decrease the size of the character. Then you can change the location of the character, rotation of the character, and the type. If you want, you can make it a stroke, which will be something like this, and then you can get blank. Blank is nothing but, if I tap G, we get this empty element over which we can draw by going from object mode to draw mode, and I can draw something. But this is not the correct mode for using grease pencil. To fully utilize grease pencil, Blender developers have provided a workspace of new 2D animation. If you click 2D animation, don't save it here, then you will get a workspace which is especially made for working with grease pencil, and it's a little bit similar like Adobe Flash. So I am very excited to explain you this. The moment you open it, you are getting this white canvas over which you can click and drag. Because I have mouse, my drawings won't have that kind of quality, but still I can make it a quality looking line. How? That I will be showing you in a moment. The first we will see tools. Here, if you click, you get this different kinds of brushes. Airbrush. If I click and drag, it gives a feeling of an airbrush. Ink pen. If we click and drag, it gives a impression of ink pen. Ink pen rough. It gives a rough ink pen effect. Somewhere it is thin, somewhere it is fat, thick. Marker bold. Click and drag, it gives a marker bold. Now it's a little bit gray. The reason behind that is the strength. Strength defines the opacity of the stroke. Then marker chiseled. Click and drag, it's like a chiseled marker. You can see the image over here. If I take this marker bold, it's going to show a rounded tip, and chisel marker are the marker which have the tip is being cut. That is called chisel marker. If I write with that, it gives a different feeling. It has a different flow. Then there is pen. Click and drag, it's our ordinary ball pen. Then our next option is pencil, which you can click and drag. It gives a pencil like feeling. And pencil soft, this has the edges are very soft. This pencil's edges are sharp. Let me increase the radius. Click and drag, increase the radius even more. Click and drag. The edges are soft, but if I take pencil, the edges are hard. If I increase the radius, click and drag, the edges are hard. So these are 8 kind of brushes out of the box you get when you use Blender. So let me control Z all of these things. Now the next option is materials, which you can even activate from here as well. Here if you go to material, because we are dealing with grease pencil objects, its material a little bit different than our standard material in Blender. My English is not that good, but I will try my level best to make myself as clear as possible. So here you have different kinds. Here you have 2 different ways of coloring the object. Let me show you. Draw mode. I will go here, I will click a new slot, new, and we will give it a name, stroke demo. Then I will go over here, I will create a new slot. This will be fill demo. And then I will go in and make a new slot just to make you actually understand what actually is stroke and how fill is used. This is stroke and fill demo. Okay. So what I will do, I will first take stroke, and we have these two tick marks. In the stroke, I have checked it. Then I will go to the base color. I will take some another color. First I am raising the bar in this black and white bar so that we could be able to see the colors for those who don't understand. I will take a bluish color. Okay. Now if I click and drag, I still have black color. The reason behind that is here it is still stroke demo dome. Oh, I have written dome demo, DEMO, stroke. If I click and drag, the brush is still black. So what I have to do, I will take ink pen, I will take a rough ink pen, increase the radius, and then we will go out here and take another color. Now here you can see this stroke demo, and this is a stroke demo. I have selected stroke demo, and if I click and drag, I will get a stroke. If I select fill demo, I will remove the check from the stroke and I will check on fill, and then I will come over here and select one of the color. We will take a little bit apple green type color. Now if I click and drag, it's going to fill it. What it actually is doing is, if I click and drag and leave the mouse, it's going to fill that area. So that's how stroke and fill works. And in this strokes and fill demo, what I will do is, I will check on stroke as well as I will check on fill. Here in the stroke option, I will select one of the color, and in the fill option I will select another color. I will take a red, and here I will take teal, a little bit somewhere around here. Now I have got a stroke as well as a fill. Now if I click and drag, I am getting a stroke along with a fill. So that's how material is used by Blender's grease pencil object. So what we will do, we will do Control Z, 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 Z. Now that's how materials used. There are different types of lines. Line is a wonderful way of drawing. If you have pen tablet, for those who don't know what is pen tablet, Google pen tablet, PENTABLET. You will get these devices which you can connect to computers to draw directly with the help of a pencil. That is pen tablet. And one more thing, if you haven't subscribed, I'm sorry. I wanted to say, there is a series of Alan Becker, Animator versus Animation. Make sure to check it out on YouTube. Alan Becker, Animator versus Animation. These are a series of videos with a very wonderful script and storyline, and the way the characters show their emotions with the body language, it's wonderful. It's completely related to grease pencil type of work, so make sure you see that. So mode type line is the better one. Dots will give us dotted line. Instead of explaining, why don't I show it to you? If I click and drag, this is the line. If I take dots, small dots will be visible, and it's like dotty 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 dotty. And if I take squares, click and drag, it's a little bit squarish. Style, solid or texture. If you want to fill in a texture, then you can give out an image. You can select one of the image. I will take one of the image, and it's filling each and every stroke. If it's possible, it's actually filling with each and every stroke with the image, so I don't need that. So that's that. And then with the fill, you have got solid, we have got gradient. If I check off stroke and check on fill and tap 0 to go in the camera mode, here what you can do is you can change from solid to gradient, and this is the way the gradient is visible here. And you can change the color of the gradient. Base color is gray, so why don't I change it to reddish, pinkish, and a little bit like rose petals. You can make gradients out of drawings. So that's how this fill option and stroke option is used for coloring the strokes in Blender's grease pencil. Let me Ctrl Z all of this. What now I will do, I will give stroke. I will take stroke and make its color a little bit blue. And the great thing about this is once you give a stroke, once you draw a stroke, and if there is a material assigned to it, you can go and directly change the color of that stroke. So if I click and drag over here, oh, I am changing the color of the fill. So make sure you don't make that kind of mistake. That was a great, I did that mistake, so you could understand what kind of mistakes a person can face. So you see the color is changing over here. So I will take somewhere around teal and a little bit bright teal. So this is stroke. So that then there are a lot of tools here: draw, fill, erase, tint. We will see each one step by step. Looks like my line should be there. I will click and drag. No black color, man, we need teal color. If we click and drag, we get this color. Now I have left it like this. The next tool is fill. If we click on the fill, and then if we click somewhere inside here, so for that you need fill material. Why it is not working is because I have stroke demo selected as. So what I will do, I will take fill demo. This is another material. I will check off stroke, I will check on fill, and here I will take another color. Let's take blue, that goes good with green. I will take blue, and if I click over here, now the entire thing is filled by blue. It is depending on the material, if it is a fill material or if it is a stroke material. For drawing you need stroke material, and for filling you need fill material. Now along with that, when I am filling areas like this where there is small gaps, let us understand this is a very small gap. What I will do is I will create a very small gap. I will go to stroke demo. One more thing for power users, every time we have to come over the material and select a stroke over here, you can as well do it from here. Okay, so what I will do is I will take stroke demo and click and drag a small gap. I will leave a very small gap just to show you how pixel perfect Blender needs to be. So this is what I have done. I am using shift middle tab to pan around this canvas. In the fill, if I click on something which has a little bit of opening and I click over it, Ctrl Z, I have to use fill demo. Click, it's going to fill the entire space. That depends on is it closed or is it not closed. So to close that, what we can do is we can shift click and drag, shift click and drag and give a temporary closing, and then we can come over here and fill it. Isn't it the most wonderful way of filling the objects? Yes, it's the most wonderful way. So if you fill, there might be some gap, and what you need to do is just shift select, shift click and drag to fill that area and click. Now what is the reason? Now one more thing, now I am trying to fill this area, but the moment I click, it's filling the entire area. The reason behind that is I have changed from first frame to fifth frame. So what I need to do is I will select this frame, right click, delete keyframe. So what actually and how actually grease pencil is used, I will be explaining that after all the tools. Fill, erase. With the help of erase, you can erase the strokes and the fill. You can erase it off. You can increase the radius of the brush from here to here. And one more thing, if you draw a line, let me take a stroke material. If I click and drag a line, here you get one option called vertex mode or material mode. So what that actually is, if you go even in this tool over here, you get this material, which is material, and the moment I click over here, you see this will be clicked. I am clicking here, this will be clicked. I clicked here, and that you see vortex color has been selected. What that actually means is, now if I take tint and if I take some another color like blue and click and drag, let me take red, it will be visible. If I click and drag, I can give shades to the already defined lines. So this can be useful for giving a texture to the line, to give a character to the line. So that's how it can be used. And the tool in this category is cutter. If I click and drag, I can cut and remove the entire thing. So instead of erasing the entire line, I can cut the entire line. So that's how cutter works. And what I wanted to show you is go into the draw option, and here is the vortex color. You can paint over the color, and if you click on this box or this box, you can select the color whichever you want to fill the line with. It opens a different kind of possibilities. You just need to give a little bit of time so that your mind can comprehend it, and your mind is always a pressure cooker. Whatever you fill it with, it will give you a most wonderful thing that you can eat and digest and will be nutritious for you. So the next option is eyedropper to pick up colors. Next option is line. If we click and drag, I will take another line, another color. I will go to material and we will take stroke demo. And here if I click and drag, what is happening here, over here and here, is that when I select vertex color, it is showing me the vertex selected color. If I select material, and in this material panel I have selected stroke demo, because I have selected stroke demo, now if I click and drag, it's going to show me the dark greener color. So let me Control Z it out and make sure that I am not in vertex color mode, I am in material color mode, and go to line and click and drag. This will give you a line. The way that this line is not perfect because I am using ink pen rough, so that's why this line is a little bit wonky. And with that line you can get this extra handles of yellow color, which you can click and drag to exactly place the handles the way you want. And you can tap enter, click and drag, 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 click and drag. So this is how you can make things out of simple lines. And one more thing, you are drawing this line, if you tap E, then you can extrude the line the way you want. And if you want to fix it, you can't double click or right click. What you need to do is tap enter. If you click and drag, you get a line, and if you want to fix the line, you need to tap enter on the keyboard. That's how the line is going to fix up. Then we got polyline, click and drag, click and drag, click, 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 not clicking and dragging, only clicking. So that's how you get this polyline. And tap enter to fix it. Arc, let me take a nice marker, ink pen, we will take ink pen and have a radius, nice radius. Now if we click and drag, there is an arc along with two controllers and a bender. This blue dot is called bender. There is a bender in the blender, and if you want to extrude it from here, you can tap E and then you can extrude it from here, and that's it. That's how you can make arcs. And if you want, you can keep the way you want it to, and tap enter. Curves, if you click and drag a line, you get a line with two curvable options. You get these two blue color dots with the help of which you can give the curve character. Then you can tap E to extrude the line, and with the help of this blue dot you can define where the lines can go. Then you have got this. If you want to fix it, you need to click enter. Then there is box, click and drag. Now you can make a rectangle, but if you want to make a perfect square, the option is you need to press and hold shift. The moment you press and hold shift, you get a perfect square, and we will keep it somewhere over here. And even then you want, you can drag it over here, click and drag, and that's how you get a square. One more thing, now if I am clicking and dragging, the square is coming from the corner, but if you hold shift and alt and click and drag, you can get the square from center of the object. So that's how this works. This is also a wonderful thing. Then we have got circle. circle will give you options to draw ellipsoid, oval. Click and drag. If you hold shift, you get a perfect square. And now it's coming from the corner. If I hit shift and alt at the same time, press and hold shift and alt at the same time. My English is not that good, but I will try my level best. Click and drag, then shift and alt is in the middle, so the circle is coming from the middle. So that's how these things work. Why don't we utilize this thing to make an eye? An eye for an eye makes the whole world go blind. So we will come over here and keep the eye something like this, and with the help of erase, I am not able to take erase because I haven't entered. I need to tap enter and then go to erase, and then we can erase this line. One more thing, if you want to increase or reduce the size of these brushes, you can tap F and you can increase the size of brushes on the screen as well. You don't need to go over here and click and drag. And strength, for strength, shift F, you can change the opacity of the brush stroke. And this thing beside is, for those who don't know, pen tablet is also used for drawing. What is pen tablet? You go on Google and search for pen tablet. It's a device with which you can draw on the screen of your computer. And because I don't have a pen tablet, I am switching it off. So F for radius of brush and shift F for radius of strength. And this is the annotate tool. It's mostly useful for production environment. Like, I want this eye to be removed, please remove this eye. I can write over here, please remove this eye. And these annotations are being saved over in this hidden panel under view, and here in the annotations you get this annotate. And if you want, you can hide it, or if you want, you can cut it, delete it. So I will tap N to hide the extra tab that was annotate. And how much you could utilize this thing, for that I am going to file, new, and 2D animation, and don't save. I will come over here, make a new material, new slot. In that slot I will create a new material, and in that material I will create a stroke, and that stroke is going to be somewhat teal, grayish teal. Okay, now if I click and drag, oh, the brush is very small. If I tap F, I can increase the size of the brush, and click to set it. The brush size is bigger. Now I want the stroke not to be black, I want the stroke to be teal. If I click and drag, it's teal, but it's not visible. The reason is the strength is 0.6, means the opacity is low. Now I will keep full opacity and click and drag, then we'll get a black stroke. Once again we will go over here and select our teal color, and now if I click and drag, we get the color. Now how can this be utilized for animation is, if we go into the next frame, like I will click and drag, what I will do is, once again take this teal color. Okay, now on the first frame, this is my drawing. On the next frame, I am doing next frame by using left or right arrow. Left arrow, click and drag, left arrow, click and drag. And this thing is called ghosting. It's showing where the last frame drawing is. next lane, next frame, click and drag, next frame, click and drag, next frame, click and drag. And for those who are actually interested in 2D animation, make sure you check out Alan Becker, Alan, ALANBECKER, Alan Becker, Animator versus Animation on YouTube. It's a most wonderful, mind-blowing how his mind works with the common things which we have come across, that he shows there. So what I will do, I will fast forward some of my thing, and so I have drawn 30 frames and each frame is keyable. And now if I go back, the frames are visible, each and every frame. And now I am coming over here, I am clicking over here, and what is the last frame number? The last frame number is 30. The last frame number is 30. I will tap 30 over here, or you can also utilize the shortcut what I will show. Like I am clicking and dragging, the line is over here. You can use the shortcut. If you want to end your animation up to here, then you can tap Control and End. So that will bring your end of the timeline to where your playhead is. Now I will click play. Now this is how the animation takes place, 2D animation. If I had a pen tablet, I would make a walk cycle, or I would make a fighting scene, or something very wonderful that other people would rejoice. So this is how you can utilize this pen. And one more thing, the biggest power of grease pencil lies in file, new, and going to 2D animation. Don't save. What I will do is I will go and draw something. We will draw a cactus here. Click and drag. Go to material, create a new material slot, give a new material, come over here, click and drag, and give the teal color, not teal color, greenish color, and hit the strength full. And now if I click and drag, I want the brush to be big, so I am tapping F to make the brush bigger. Now if I click and drag, I can make a cactus. But the problem with the mouse is that it's very difficult to get the proportions and lines. But still I have got one thing up my sleeve, and that is stroke and stabilized strokes. If you come over here, stroke and stabilized stroke, this is actually processing how smooth you want the lines to be. Now if I am clicking and dragging, you see my lines are a little bit jagged. Now if I come over here and make it a smooth and iterations to 3, and now if I come click and drag, it suddenly gets smooth. If I click and drag, it smoothens it out, so that it feels like we are professional artists with a 2 or 3 years of degree course in fine arts. One more thing I liked about this is a randomize. This randomizes the things. I will randomize this jitter. Jitter is one thing that I like. If we click and drag, it gives you a jitter line. I don't know how best you can utilize this, but I thought I would give you an understanding of what this is. And my favorite is stabilized stroke. What this does is, if I click and drag, it gives me a wire, and at the end of the wire is the color, with the help of which I can draw difficult shapes with the help of my mouse. Now this would have been very difficult for me if I had used mouse. So this stabilized stroke, under stroke, stabilized stroke is the thing you get. And if I try to do this with my mouse, pew! So this is one thing I wanted to show to you. One more thing, what you can do, you can select your materials from here, or if you want you can use your materials from your lines from here. This is a new concept which I had to explain. Over in the object data properties, we have got layers as Photoshop. What I will do is I will create 1 2 3. We will call this R, we will call this G, we will call this B, RGB. And if I select the red line, we will create 3 materials as well. One will be red stroke, the another will be blue stroke, and another will be green stroke. Okay, now from here I will take different layers. From here I will take different layers. In the red layer, what I will take red material. I will take red layer, and then I will come over here. I will take red material and click and drag a circle. I will remove this stabilized stroke. Then I will take green layer. It's actually like Photoshop green layer. I will take green material, click and drag and draw over here. Then I will take blue material and I will click on blue and click and drag. Now what I want to show you is that it exactly works like Photoshop. Now this blue is on the top, so that's the top visible, but I can make it go down with the help of these buttons. I will select this blue layer, I will click on this, it's gone below green, and now it's gone below red. I can make this green to go below blue. So what I can do is select the green layer, click here and click here, it will go below the layer. So that's how you can manage this. It's works like Photoshop, and you will get it in object data properties. And if you want, you can hide and unhide these layers. Okay, so that's how the thing works. And one more thing which I have to search for, let me control Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z. Okay, here if you come over on the overlays, you get this onion skin. Okay, then you come over the material, and in the options, and if you come over 10, click and drag. In the next frame, click and drag. Next frame, click and drag. And we will click over here. Then you get this onion skin, with the help of which you can understand where the lines are coming from and where the lines are going. And if you want, you can tick it from here over here. Okay, so that's how you can view your onion skinning. Let's go back to the most awesome thing. I have drawn this. If we go to this option and then go to sculpt mode, you get these wonderful options hidden here. slightly hidden here, right in front of your eyes. Woo! What you can do with this thing is smooth. Smooth will smoothen out the lines and make you feel that you have taken a course in animation degree. In arts, I can smooth it out. I can make my lines smoother. Thickness, this one I will make thick. This is very thick, so we can smoothen it out. How much you want, you can smoothen it out. Then thickness defines which parts of the line should be thick. We will make this part of the lines thick. And if you hold control, you can make it thin. Shift for making it thick and control to making it thin. Strength, how you want the brush to be strengthful. It actually isn't completely visible over here what actually it does. The next thing is randomize. This is one of the most wonderful thing. This will give a slight variation to these lines. If I tap F and increase the radius, it gives us a simple variation of what the characters could be. Grab, if you want, you can click and drag and make them meet, and click and drag and bring it over here, and it will drag the points where your mouse cursor is over the lines. It will drag those points. It's not like if you want to drag all the parts over here, it's not going to do that. It's going to select the part which you have selected and the connecting parts, connecting lines. Push, if you want, you can push. I will push this to this side. Then we will use smooth brush to smoothen it out. Then twist, if you want, you can twist it. I will tap F to increase the brush size, so we can twist it. And if you hold control, you can twist it in another direction. Pinch, if you want, you can pinch it. It will pinch over all the parts, and if you hold control, it's going to do the opposite of pinch. And clone is one of the most wonderful thing. What you need to do is go to draw mode. Go to draw mode. Let me think. Sculpt mode. Clone. So what we need to do is we need to go to edit mode, select all these lines, copy it, and then go to sculpt mode, and we have this clone brush. You can just click over here, click over here, click over here, click over here, and that's how you get the forest of cactus. So that's it for this, guys. Till then, see it, learn it, understand it. I will see you in the next video. And if you like these videos, try to support me on the Patreon page. Links will be given in the description, or you can personally Google Pay, Phone Pay, or Paytm me. Your support will be wholeheartedly kept near to my heart, and these videos will be coming as soon as possible and in depth, as much depth as possible, whichever data is required to an artist. So with that being said and done, try to see it, learn it, understand it. I will see you in the next video. Veda.